All right, moving over to the men's middleweight division now. We got the UFC debut of Ryan Gandra coming in at minus 550, going up against Jose Medina, who comes in at plus 400. Now, starting off on the Gandra side of things, he earned his contract through the Contender Series this past season by knocking out Trent Miller in the first round. Now, Gandra, it only took him less than 3 minutes to find the button and put his opponent away, and that marked his 7th straight victory, with his only loss coming in his second pro fight back in April of 2022. It's been 4 years since that defeat, and he's made massive improvements in his game, largely with his striking, where he does a great job in terms of utilizing his range and his reach to land those big shots from distance. But he also has a brown belt in BJJ and judo in case he needs to take fights to the ground to have success. He's mixed up his training a lot in recent years, from training alongside Paulo Costa to going over to shoot to box Diego Lima and training alongside former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira. He's a solid addition to the middleweight division that might be able to crack into the rankings, but I don't think he's as good to the point of eventually getting into title contention. But he is dangerous and continues to come through with finishes. Now he's going up against Jose Medina, who still somehow has a UFC contract even after losing 3 straight matchups. And even after losing on the Contender Series very dominantly against Magomed Gadzhiesulov. Now, Medina is a guy who is now 0-8 in terms of winning rounds over his last 4 fights. He got outworked by Gadzhiesulov, got outworked by Reese over the 6 rounds that they fought, but he ended up getting knocked out by Atiba Gauthier and submitted by Dushko Todorovic. So again, 0-8 in terms of rounds. He's just not that good. He's tough, durable, but that's even starting to dwindle now at the UFC level, especially when fighters realize that he can be taken down, grinded out, and even submitted if you can get that submission game going. He has some sneaky power. He's been doing his best in terms of getting in shape, so I'll give him credit for that. He's tried to change up his training as much as he can. He even went to Killcliff FC for his last training camp, but it seems like he set up shop at the UFC PI in Mexico this time around. But no matter how much training he does, I just don't think he has what it takes to be successful at this level. And I would be surprised if this is not his last fight in the UFC. I fully believe that Ryan Gandra will get the positions he needs to dominate Medina here. I think Gandra would be best served to utilize his judo and his BJJ to get Medina to the ground. And then from there, I think we see Gandra eventually sink in a submission to force the tap from Medina. It's obvious why Gandra is a big favorite, but he needs to be aware of the possible durability of Medina, and that could help him in deeper water. So that's why I think that Gandra needs to take this fight to the ground, utilize his BJJ game similar to what Dushko Todorovic was able to do, and let that lead to a submission win, which is ultimately going to be my final prediction here. So like I said, give me Ryan Gandra and Gandra by submission.